The first film that comes up when Googling what's on near me in Edinburgh is the latest installment of the mega Hollywood horror franchise, The Conjuring. This one's called Last Rites. Full disclosure, I've seen neither this film nor any of its predecessors. I don't think I could. Many of you will remember I said a few weeks ago I'm not really into scary movies. But clearly other people are, because the Conjuring franchise has grossed approximately £1.64 billion worldwide. It's the highest grossing horror series ever made. It's remarkable how much attention films like this and The Exorcist and The Omen have attracted over the years. Films steeped in Catholic imagery, liturgy, and theology. And the rituals depicted in them are among the most obscure and unsettling the Church has to offer. Why then are people drawn to something so strange, so out of step with contemporary life, and so unapologetically religious? I think part of the answer is this: they name evil. In a world often overwhelmed by senseless cruelty or inexplicable violence, these stories offer a kind of clarity. Evil is real, and it has a name, sometimes even a personality, a voice, a smell. That identification, however terrifying, is also oddly reassuring. But more compelling still is the idea that the evil is other. It's not the person themselves. It's something that comes upon them. The possessed character is not the villain. They are the battleground. The horror is what happens to them, not what comes from them. And that resonates with real human experience. People describe parts of life in exactly these terms, as though something has taken hold of them. Anger they didn't recognize. Addictions they couldn't master. Desires they didn't ask for. A kind of shadow self that feels stronger than the self they know. The language of being beside oneself, not in one's right mind, or like a different person. These aren't just expressions. They're attempts to describe what it feels like when agency falters. Possession, in the dramatic sense, gives narrative shape to that experience. And this isn't just blame shifting. It isn't about dodging moral responsibility. It's about recognizing that the human self is often fractured and vulnerable. We're not always whole. We're not always in charge the way we think we might be. To say, something came over me, may be a cliche, but often it's honest. Possessions. That's what today's gospel is all about. And I realize it may sound as if I've gotten my definitions tangled, because when Jesus says possessions, he's clearly not talking about demons. He's talking about belongings, things, money, property. And yet, maybe it's not such a stretch. What if our possessions are not just objects? What if, in our lives, they are forces that act on us, shape us, even control us? The point isn't simply whether we care about things more than God. The point is whether they hold sway, whether they manipulate us, hollow us out, or distort what we think is good. In other words, what if Jesus is asking not just what we have, but what has us? I think that's what these horror films tap into. That there are forces in this world, spiritual, social, emotional, that aim to possess. And they're not neutral. They're not toys. They're dangerous. Possessions possess us. And I know it might sound just like a bit of wordplay, but there's a connection. Because whether it's a demon or a drug, a spectre or a screen, a spirit or a salary, people know what it feels like to be held by something, to be claimed by it, caught up, pulled in. And whether it comes with fear or with desire, the result is the same. Something else is calling the shots. So Jesus says, sit down, count the cost, know what you're up against. If you want to be free, if you want to follow, if you want your life back, then something may have to be cast